Most people are familiar with Google products like Search and Gmail and Drive. Google has several other products that are useful in the world of education, and one of those is Google Keep. You may or you may not have heard of this, but Google Keep is basically kind of like an online post-it notes. But again, like all Google products, one of the great capabilities that they all have is the ability to collaborate. So you can make a note, but you can also add a colleague or a student to that note. It might be a to-do list for a project, something that you're working on with a coworker. But you can see here, there's all sorts of different notes you can include. This is a drawing. You can draw a note, which is this option right here. You can add a picture, save a website that you're meaning to look at, little note to-do list for yourself. This one's actually a reminder, so I selected to remind me of this tomorrow at 8 a.m., so I'll get an email alert there. And then you also see I have a list. I could do something personal like a shopping list, but in this case, I made a list of DBQ comments. And why I have DBQ comments here is because Google just announced that Google Keep would be integrating with Google Docs. So any list that you have within Google Keep will also become accessible. So this would be a great place to make comment lists for student work. It could be grammatical lists, usage lists, um, DBQ comments like you're seeing here. And I want to show you how easy it is to create a list. So this is an editing list. I'm going to copy this, and when you make a list, you can just hit Control V or paste it in there. And notice I didn't have to copy and paste each criteria. It separated them for me. So I'm going to call this list, usually let's call it grammar. And I'm going to press done on this. Now with this list, I could collaborate with someone, and you can see this isn't very detailed, but I could get more detailed with my description. This particular criteria, I included a link. So if you were giving students feedback, you could include a tutorial. And this is just going to give them more detailed feedback. You have a capitalization error. Well, why is it a capitalization error? It's a little bit of a description of what what they need to improve. So let's show you how that integrates. This is a sample DBQ, and for those of you who are teaching social studies, English, and well, I guess any subject for that matter, sometimes what you'll find is that when students submit papers or essays that you'll keep having to write the same comments on papers, which can get a little bit tedious by time you get through like 10 or 20 of them. So here's where Google Keep comes in. In the Tools tab of Docs, you're going to notice this option right here called Keep Notepad. This is going to bring up access to your notes. So if you remember, I did make a list of DBQ comments, and I also made a list of grammar feedback comments. So here's my list. Here's all my keep notes, and if I scroll through, I can get all of them. But normally when I make a comment, what I would do is I would highlight what I'd like to make a comment on, and I'd press this comment button, and then I'd have to type my feedback to students. And if it's something simple, or if I'm not making a lot of comments, that's no big deal, but sometimes it requires more detail. So this is where Keep comes in. I'm going to go to my Keep list, and let's say that this one, actually, I want to make a comment on the DBQ. So I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to go to my DBQ comments. And if you're a social studies teacher, you'll probably agree with me that outside information is usually a comment that you will make in their document or in their essay, because very few students will put outside information into that document. So if I want to incorporate this comment, all I do is hit Control C for copy, Control V for paste, and hit comment. And now the student's getting a detailed comment. I don't have to type it all out because it's already done. And I can provide students quality feedback. I could even include an example for this specific essay of what outside information would be. So I hope this is something that's useful to you. Again, this is Google Keep, an online place for lists, integrates with your Google account. And you can use Google Keep in Docs by going to the Tools tab and Keep Notepad to access your Keep notes. Hope this is something you can use. Thanks for watching.